Son was 4.
Right. So like I
don't
didn't
want to get into it because they're too
right.
young.
Well, they're too young, and so it's just like.
And actually, I think it's better that way because
Well,
then you just think it's a natural thing.
Right. Well, that's just like where I just remember it being this thing where it's like, oh, mommy doesn't live here. Mommy's going to live in this other house, and you're going to go see her on these
days.
days.
It seem as natural as
yeah, and it's just like, and it's just the idea of like, well, that's what it's like. To me, it was like transitioning her out of the crib.
Right.
Just like, well, now you sleep in the bed.
Right.
Well, but what about my crib? Well, the crib's gone now.
Right.
Or, and it was that sort of naturalistic. And also, like, my parents divorced when I was 4, almost 5, somewhere around that. And it was the same thing of just like I kind of vaguely even remember being in the car and being like, where are we going? Like, oh, we're going to see Daddy's new house. And I was like, well, doesn't Daddy live at our house? And going, well, no, Daddy's not going to live at it. And just being like, oh, okay. And then I always grew up with this idea of, well, Dad lives there and Mom lives there. Right. And I can see that with my kids. They're just like,
and I think
and they'll ask, they'll be like, what's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is tomorrow, am I with you or with Mom? And it's like,
This was written so well because it showed Henry's sort of, some angst sometimes, like, I'm tired now. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Oh my God. Well, that I totally related to.
The Halloween
thing and just like being a child of divorce, like I can remember that, the splitting of holidays and like.
That's the hardest
part. I remember Christmas was a thing where it's like, my parents would split whose house I got to wake up at.
Right.
And then one of them, they would come and pick me up and I did it. I remember my ex and we did that once. We did it once where on the day we split it. And I just went, you know what? This is stupid. No. You take them.
Yes.
You do Christmas better than me. And then I'll have them. And first of all, like I'm usually gigging anyways and everything. So I was just like, well, I'll have them whenever, a couple of days later. And I always do what we call Christmas 2, Santa's Revenge.
I like it.
Yeah, but there was that realness, and then the juxtaposition of the Halloween, because that comes back at the very end, and then there was just that at the very end scene. It shows that these two people
are doing the best they can.
They're doing the best they can. They're trying to do what's best for their child.
Right. And that's how it should be done.
And it's how it should be done, but you still get this feeling that there is this real caring.
Right.
They still care about each other.
Yes.
And they care, like, it's just this, and it's those simple little gestures.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to know, did you notice with the last thing, and then I feel like we can move on to...
We can talk about this forever, trust me.
With the opening letters, did you notice that there's an extra line when the letter comes back, when Scarlet Letters comes back at the end?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, because
because if you notice...
I haven't finished my second viewing. I made it
rewatch the opening.
I will.
And notice where she stops her letter, and then fast forward to the end. Because I was rewatching it, I was watching the opening scene, I went, wait a minute, what about that line at the end? And then I went back and it opens up that question too of like, if she had read the letter, would they have gotten through this?
Right.
Would they have figured things out?
Yeah.
Like,
well, she even says that too when she goes into her trailer when she's in LA. She's like, maybe I could have directed if we had stayed together.
Right.
And you do always.
Oh my God.
Because trust me, even years after being divorced, I sometimes think, should we have written it out? You know what I mean? But you don't know.
No, you don't know.
You have to sort of make a guess.
Or you do the thing where you go, well, if we had met now, the people who we are now out of the relationship,
but I'm so
we
glad
could get together now. But it's like, but wait, but I wouldn't be this person I am now
so
if we hadn't gotten divorced. It's so true. And so it's, I don't know, and
I think this is a perfect movie. And if it wins the Academy Award, I'll be totally thrilled.
I would be so happy.
Me too.
It's definitely going to get nominated.
It's deserving.
And this is going to be, I feel like, one of the first years in many years where I feel like could probably be like 4 or 5 movies that if they won, I'd be happy.
It's a great movie. Yeah. It really is. I've been moved so many times.
Yeah, it's
In fact, when I saw Honey Boy, I hand wrote my review because I was on a plane from New York, and I said, this is before Marriage Story. I go, I don't care if Adam Driver stands on his head and spits jelly beans. I want Shia LaBeouf. And then I see Marriage Story, and I'm like, oh my God, he stood on his head and spit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God,
did it.
He did. I mean, it was,
so
and it's.
Moving.
Boy, this was a real easy movie too. There's some scenes, specifically the fight scene, where he could have just gobbled the scenery up, right. But he does it in such a naturalistic way and in a way where it's almost like, it's scary good, because like I've had those moments where it's like, ooh, I've done that. I've been there where, you're that person where you're trying to stay in control and you're there and you're there, and then you just snap and you smash a chair, you punch the wall, you just unload the nastiest, most venomous.
Yeah, I think so. If anyone hasn't seen this, we haven't ruined it because we couldn't do it justice. You have to see this.
Yeah,
movie.
there's no spoiler
and there's
to this.
So many little details.
It's not like at the end it turns out like Baby Yoda or something.
Yeah.
Like it's
so
there.
Just real quick, because I feel like we've talked a lot, but that's fine because I love this movie.
There's so much to talk about.
I'll mention 2 more movies, and I'm not even going to detail, just to say the titles of real relationship movies that I think. Revolutionary Road.
Oh my God, yes.
And Blue Valentine.
Oh my, yeah.
But I think those were darker.
Oh my God. Well, so
this one had more joy.
That's the thing. Yeah. I can remember with Revolutionary Road, like, I jokingly said I saw my ex and I told her, I was like, you got to see Marriage Story. Right. And I was like, she's like, oh, I'm kind of scared. Like, is it going to be? And she's like, is this going to be like Revolutionary Road?
Right.
And I was like, no. And I even said, like, I can remember coming out of Revolutionary Road and there was almost a feeling, I feel like both of us had this feeling of like, do we really want to do this? Like, is this worth it? Blue Valentine, very much the same way.
Gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
And it was almost like those 2 movies showed people beating themselves up to stay together.
Yeah.
When this movie shows you might as well go apart. And
right. Or,
find some peace.
When it shows that thing where there's that shift that happens when a marriage or any relationship is falling apart, where you go from fighting for the marriage to fighting against the breakup. Yeah. And when you start fighting against it, like that's when things really start to go sideways.
Right.
And those movies, they're fighting against the breakup. They're fighting against. So if there's in this same sort of genre of relationship movies, I think the natural comparison with this movie is Kramer versus Kramer, of course. But a movie that I thought about, which I think is a really good relationship movie, not as dark, is 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, I love that movie too.
It's a great movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel, and I think that
so adorable.
That shows it's very almost sort of similar to this, where you see the natural arc, and then the
great soundtrack too. Hall & Oates.
Exactly. That scene with all of them. But so that's a movie that really sort of like
good point.
Jumped. That was something that, and it's a little bit more in this genre, like a little bit more hopeful.
Yes.
Yeah, and like going through a breakup sucks, and you go through that thing where you go, God, I hate this thing that I used to love about them, or whatever. I hate how they do this thing that used to drive me crazy amorously, now drives me crazy.
Exactly. There's a switch that gets flipped.
Yeah, I know. So that this movie really, and now it makes me want to rewatch that movie too. And see, am I remembering it well?
So I'm seeing a bunch of movies coming up, but the one I'm most excited about is Uncut Gems from.
Yes,
I love the Safdie brothers, and I think Adam Sandler can be a powerful dramatic actor.
I think he can too. I think and he's shown like oddly Meyerowitz Story, Punch Drunk Love. I thought it's not a great movie, but I thought his performance was great. Was in Reign Over Me, Sorry.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's him and Don Cheadle. Like really, it's good.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be great, but I really think that's probably Adam Sandler's best performance overall. Yeah, Uncut Gems. I really want to see, because I kind of think he does well when he plays a little bit of like a seedy.
Yeah.
Like when he does the real like in Punch Drunk Love, when he does sort of the more real world version of his goofy characters, where they're more driven by anger, and by like just like.
But they're still vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a movie that I'm looking forward to. There's The Two Popes, which I think comes out.
Oh yeah, I saw that
this Friday.
At the film festival.
Yeah, you saw that at the film festival. I haven't
really
seen
good
that
too.
yet. I know that's playing at Burns Court right now, but I'm excited for that to come out on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
But there's something I'm blanking on.
That's all right.
Other things that I'm excited to see. There's so much. Well, the thing that I'm really excited to see tonight is Star Wars.
Oh, you're going tonight? All right.
Oh, of course. Yes.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to fill me in on that.
Definitely. Gladly.
Well, we want to thank Radu at Breaking Wave too. He's so nice. We sort of take over the joint, but it was perfect timing today. So thanks, Radu, for letting us.
Thank you.
Podcast here, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays.
We'll talk again soon.
Fabulous.
Thanks again.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.